Okay, first of all, let me welcome all of you who have joined this course. This course is an introduction to basic econometrics, and precisely this will be the course outline that we intend to cover. And this course is intended for all those who want to understand econometrics right from scratch. So the first thing we'll discuss about introduction to econometrics, what do we exactly mean by econometrics and what are the usage of econometric methods. Second thing we talk about CLRM. CLRM stands for Classical Multiple Linear Regression Model and the assumptions on which this model rests. Third, we talk about one of the principal method of estimating CLRM is ordinary least square method of estimation. In short form, it is also called as OLS method. Fourth, we talk about large and small sample properties of these estimators. Fifth, one of the main thing that we use in econometrics is to test the hypothesis. So hypothesis testing. Sixth, we talk about what happens, what are the consequences when some of the assumptions of CLRM are violated. Seventh, we talk about, in brief, introduction to simultaneous equation models. What are the techniques we employ to understand how to estimate simultaneous equation models. And last, in brief, we discuss about time series and some of the basic properties or some of the basic concepts in time series. So precisely this will be our course outline for this introductory course in econometrics. Second thing, we'll take this course using matrix method. So I would expect all of you to be a little bit comfortable in using matrices, and I'll not use very high thing in of matrices. Basically, I'll talk about or I'll use the properties of addition, subtraction, multiplication of matrices. Square matrices is important because much of the derivation requires the understanding of square matrices. Then we also talk about, or we also use the properties of inverse matrices, transpose of matrices. So the basic understanding of matrices would suffice you to take this course. Okay, so let us start without wasting our time. So, what do we exactly understand by econometrics? In literal sense, if you see, if I break this to word, so econometrics means, metron means measurement. So you can say literally econometrics stand for measurement in economics, right? So what do we exactly understand by measurement in economics? Is it application of mathematical methods or is it application of statistical tools that we use? So let me tell you that econometrics somewhere lies at the unification of these aspects that are used in economics. So to define it formally, let me write it and then I explain what do I mean by this. So econometrics can be thought of as the application of statistical and mathematical tools or methods to the analysis of economic data with the purpose of giving empirical content to economic theories and verifying or refuting them. So formally we can define econometrics as, application of statistical and mathematical methods to analysis of economic data. Economic data will be unemployment, inflation, income, interest rate, balance of trade. There are plethora of economic variables that you can talk about with a purpose of this is very important for you to understand, with a purpose of giving empirical content. And that's why econometrics differs from mathematical methods, because mathematical methods gives you a precise deterministic relationships. It is devoid of empirical content. So with the purpose of giving empirical content to economic theories proposed by researchers, and you test the validity of the theories given by researchers, and then that's why it stands for verifying or refuting them on the basis of various tests that you conduct. Either you verify the validity of, or you say that the proposed statement is true, or you refute the claim proposed by researchers. So that's how econometrics can be understood as unification of three things: mathematical methods, statistical tools, and general theory of economic behavior, or you can say general economic theory. So this is precisely what do we exactly mean by econometrics. And econometrics is relatively a new subject. In 1930, Econometrica was first journal in econometrics was published, and after that there has been many contributions by various researchers across the world in this precise subject. Okay, so let us now move forward. So before carrying any statistical analysis, a precise mathematical formulation is required. What do I mean by this when I say this? So it will simply not be convincing to say that demand curve is downward sloping. I must have a mathematical formulation that goes in my mind to put behind this statement as a weight. So I must have a precise mathematical formulation to claim that demand curve is downward sloping. And one of the most, or you can say generic form of writing this equation is, if I say that Q stands for quantity demanded and P stands for price, so I write as a linear demand function like this. And then we test the sign of this coefficient beta, and what we are claiming is that demand curve is downward sloping. You must understand that there are exceptions to law of demand, so I'm not talking about it. In general sense, demand curve is downward sloping, so I expect this beta to be less than 0. So before any statistical analysis to be done, a precise mathematical formulation is required. So this mathematical formulation is nothing but economic model. That is, you assume certain variables to move in a way in the economy, and then we use econometric models to either verify or refute this economic theory. This is precisely the basic understanding of econometrics. So another example can be taken as, those of you who are student of economics, I'm sure you are well aware of something called Keynes consumption function. So in 1936, in his book General Theory of Employment, Interest and Money, Keynes claims that, or Keynes proposes that, consumption or amount of money spent on consumption purposes by a community depends on the level of income that it has. So this is a statement. This is a statement on general behavior of some variables in a given economy. So this is the statement that he makes. Now, how do econometrics or econometricians proceed with this claim, verifying or refuting this claim? So first of all, a mathematical formulation should be here. So in a very general sense, the mathematical formulation of Keynes consumption function, if I denote C to be consumption and X to be income, so I'll write it as C stands for C naught plus small c X. Again, a very precise, a very rough and general mathematical formulation of the Keynes consumption function. So for any statistical analysis to be made over here, I must have first a mathematical formulation through which we try to establish a cause and effect relationship amongst the variables. So this is precisely an introduction to econometrics. How do we take this understanding forward? Let us move ahead. So next thing, what do we exactly understand by an econometric model? Now, to define a model is a simplified representation of some phenomena in the economy, in a very rough sense. So model stands for a simplified representation of any phenomena in the economy. Now, when you build a model, the model rests on certain assumptions. The model cannot include all the variables that you think should be included, first thing. Second thing, the assumptions must be or realistic in nature. It should not be unrealistic in nature. By this, what do I mean by saying this is as, so suppose I say that quantity demanded of apple depends on the price of the commodity, that is apple. Now, if I only assume price to be the determining factor in quantity demanded of apple, that will be too unrealistic assumption, because there are certain other variables like income of consumer, price of other fruits such as mango or oranges or strawberry, taste of consumer. All such other factors are also very important factor in influencing the quantity demanded of this commodity, in this case apple. So the assumptions must be realistic. Your model must be either, the model should be such that a general phenomena can be described by this. It should not be too restrictive in nature. So these are certain aspects of a model that must be in our mind. So model, again, to define it, is a simplified representation of a phenomena in a given economy. But what do we exactly understand by econometric model? So let us understand this. Let me write it here, and then I'll make you understand what we exactly mean by this. So, an econometric model consists of the three things. The first thing is a set of behavioral equation derived from the economic model Second thing, a statement of whether there are errors of observation in the observed variable and the third, let me write it, and the third will stand for a specification of the probability distribution of the disturbances. So now what do we exactly mean by this statements? So what it says is, First of all, in order to conduct or in order to devise an econometric model, I must have an economic model behind it. That is, I must have a certain observation proposed by theorists on behavior of certain variables in the economy. So the first thing I say is that a set of behavioral equations derived from the economic model. In the early example that we had taken, the law of demand case. So law of demand says that keeping all other things constant, all other relevant factors constant, there exists a negative relationship between quantity demanded of a commodity and price of a commodity. So this is the observation made by economic theorists. So how do I define, or how do I first make an econometric model is that I'll have a first set of behavioral equations on this. So I write it as Q alpha plus beta P. So Q stands for quantity demanded of commodity, P stands for price of that commodity. Second thing is a statement of whether there are errors of observations in the observed variables. Now you must understand, economic variables are such that no matter how elaborate you define or how elaborate you measure the variable, there are still certain errors that are included in the measurement aspects. So you can take example that how do we exactly measure something like ability of an individual? We cannot do that. And in this case, this ability as a variable is an unobserved variable. Certain things like what should be exact measure of profit, or what should be exact measure of amount of capital stock in an economy. These are all such variables where errors of measurement are there. And the third thing is a specification of probability distribution of the disturbances. Now this is very, very important. You must understand that if the relationship exists like this is a precise deterministic relationship between quantity demanded of a commodity and price of a commodity. There should not be any model to establish this phenomena. What econometrics, how econometrics moves forward is that there's an element of randomness or there's an element of stochasticity that otherwise disturbs a precise mathematical relationship. And that precise stochasticity is included in this, what is called an error or disturbances. Now this is an exact econometric model which is set or which is defined from a behavioral equation in the economy between quantity demanded of a commodity and price of a commodity, and this is the random error term. This brings an element of randomness to otherwise a deterministic relationship between quantity demanded and price of commodity. So what do we exactly mean by a specification of the probability distribution of the disturbances? We assume certain thing about this disturbance term. We assume either one of the most important assumptions that we talk about in CLRM, that we assume this error term to have a conditional expected average as 0. Now we'll talk about what do we mean by this, but this specification of probability distribution of disturbance is precisely what you assume or how you assume your error terms to behave in the model. So an econometric model consists of these three following specifications. Combination of these three things formulates an econometric model. Now let me also give you a flow chart thing where you exactly understand how this model or how this usage of econometrics goes on. Okay, so first thing that you must understand, I must have an economic model or theory. So it will be economic model or theory. That's the first step. अब इस economic model या theory से second thing that we'll have is we'll derive a set of behavioral equations, and that's where our econometric model comes. So the second step will be econometric model. And the way we define our econometric model will also include the specifications on data collection. what are the variables on which we require our data. Then you have third thing as you estimate those unknown population parameters that you have kept here as econometric model. Fourth thing will be your specification testing or diagnostic checking. That is, you check whether the econometric model defined on economic model is correctly specified, whether the functional form of the equation is correctly specified or not. So that's the fourth step. So I write it as specification testing or diagnostic check. Now this step will determine is the model adequate or not. So is the model adequate? If the answer is yes, then we test the hypothesis of this economic model and then we validate or refute the claim. So yes, after yes, I write it here. After yes, you have your next step as test of hypothesis. You test the hypothesis of the original claim made by the researcher, and then you use this model for prediction or policy purposes. And if your model is not adequate, you again go back to your economic theory and then you define all things forward. Sorry, econometric model, not economic theory. And whatever the validation of this model is, you again refine your theory. So what exactly I mean by this flowchart? So you must understand that the first thing that I require in conducting or in devising a model in econometrics is the economic theory. Consumption function, demand function, production function, utility maximization. These are all such theories which are proposed by the researchers that they think that these variables behave in a certain manner in the economy. And on the basis of the theory, you define a mathematical formulation. So that's where econometric model comes. Now, what type of mathematical formulation that you define depends on the assumption that you keep in the model. So, econometric model, after you define the econometric model, then you go for the data collection. After the data collection process, you estimate the model that you have assumed. Estimation in the sense, since you don't know the true population parameter, you use the process of estimation to estimate those unknown population parameters. After you estimate, then you again check whether the assumptions of the model are correct or not, whether they specify to the phenomena that we are or that we think to conduct. So that's where specification testing and diagnostic check will come. And after this, if the model is adequate, then you go for testing of hypothesis made by this economic theory. That is, in this case, if you say that Keynes proposed that marginal propensity to consume will be greater than 0 and less than 1. So that's the hypothesis that we have to test using this econometric model. And after you test the hypothesis, then you use the model for prediction or policy purposes. Now you must understand these are all the signs of feedback process. That is, once you refute or test the validity of the hypothesis proposed by this economic theory, depending on the results of your model, you again revise your theory to be suitable for the generalization purposes. Again, you must understand if the model is not adequate, we again go back to the model, econometric model, and correct and rectify the problems in the model. So that's where this specification testing and diagnostic checking is one of the most important part in this whole flow chart. So this is precisely an introduction to econometrics and econometric methods. And this is precisely how an econometric model is made. So I'll stop here, and in the next lecture we talk about correlation versus regression.